Hey y'all, I'm back in Taiwan where the weather is always 90 degrees or above. I think it's like 96 today. Why am I outside? I don't know. I guess because this looks fairly nice. But yeah, welcome to This Week in Brooklyn. I have some stories for you, of course. This week it seems like I kind of have a theme going on. We're talking a lot about shelters and housing. I didn't plan this. This is just how the news played out. So let's get started. We're gonna get started in Williamsburg and then just swoop our way downwards and eastwards. Yeah, I think that's right. So this week, DNA Info reported on what residents are dubbing as a surprise shelter in Williamsburg. Apparently, it's now become common knowledge of the local residents and of Councilman Antonio Reynoso, who's the local councilman, that all 54 rooms at the Metropolitan on Union Avenue have been in use as a shelter since July. It's October, y'all. New York City's Department of Homeless Services moved people into this hotel to use it as a shelter without notifying anyone in the neighborhood. Not the officials, not the community board, not the residents, no one. And that actually goes against their pledge back in 2014 to give people at least 7 days notice that they're going to be moving homeless people into a makeshift shelter in a neighborhood, according to DNA Info. Not sure why they're being so secretive, but the DHS isn't even saying how long they're planning on using the Metropolitan as a shelter. At least Acacia Network, which runs the shelter on behalf of DHS, is planning on having a meeting with concerned neighborhood residents to address any questions they might have, and I'm sure they have a ton. But neighbors already have complaints. The people that DNA Info talked to complained about harassment on the streets and how local businesses are being affected. Someone said they saw an empty crack bag outside of their house. I'm not sure what a crack bag is exactly, but that's concerning. But not everyone is up in arms about this surprise shelter. There are some residents that have open arms for their new neighbors. One resident that DNA Info talked to said that she'd be willing to volunteer. And in the comment section, another person agreed with that sentiment. So there are mixed feelings about this. But as the city plans on building more and more shelters, I'm sure this conversation is going to happen in more neighborhoods. So we'll see how this all plays out. In the meantime, let's head over to Park Slope, where residents had a meeting last Wednesday about their recent issues with the people at the Camden Women's Shelter. According to Brookliner.com, residents have a long list of complaints, including aggressive panhandling, harassment, shoplifting, peeing on the streets, and smoking weed in public out on stoops. Yeah. So the question on everyone's mind at that meeting was, what changed within Canva within the past few months that this is happening? According to Canva, nothing's really changed within their system of operations. 4 years ago, they did increase the number of people in the shelter from 70 to 100, but like I said, that was 4 years ago, and that wouldn't have a direct correlation on what's happening right now. A representative from DHS offered that the problem might be the current opioid epidemic. Because the residents in the shelter have a history of mental illness or are dealing with trauma, there's not going to be an overnight fix. You can't just snap your fingers and everything's fine and the neighborhood doesn't have someone pissing on the street. It's not going to be as simple as that. So the representative wanted people to be understanding and be patient and not expect that Canva is gonna lock up their residents for 24 hours a day. But Canva does want residents to give them a call if they see their residents doing something inappropriate, or give the police a call if they see their residents doing something illegal. They're also inviting residents to attend their tri-weekly meetings. Hopefully that's gonna smooth over community relations. we'll see what happens. I feel like I say that at the end of every story, but really, we'll see what happens. Now let's head over to Brownsville, where the City Planning Commission approved plans for a new housing development there. They're planning on calling this development Edmonds Place, according to 6 Square Feet, and it's supposed to have 125 affordable housing units. They're gearing their apartments at the homeless, low-income families, and single adults. And the 8-story building is supposed to be split between 56 studio apartments, and then everything else is going to be either 1 to 2 to 3 bedroom apartments. And on the ground floor, there's even going to be retail, according to the plans. This sounds like an advertisement, but the best part about this new development is what they plan to charge for rent. Compared to the prices that you see elsewhere in the city, it sounds pretty affordable. Listen to this. So, gotta get my notebook out. So they plan to charge $462 a month for a studio, $590 for a 1-bedroom apartment, $718 for a 2-bedroom apartment, and $821 for a 3-bedroom apartment. Where do you find that anywhere else in the city? If this passes, that's going to be so great for the people moving in. I say if because this still needs to get a final review from the city council. The Brooklyn Borough president is already on board with it, and so is the community board 16. So maybe city council will be on board too. Well, there you have it. Those are all the stories I have for you this week. Nice little housing theme we have there. Let's see what theme we might have next week. Maybe we won't have a theme. Maybe the news will be all hodgepodge. But anyway, you can check out the links to all these stories in the description, as well as the links to the feature stories of the week. They are all gems. So follow me on social media, like, subscribe, comment, all the internet stuff, and I'll see you next week. Bye!